Welcome, everybody, to this episode of O365Eh. And for our listeners out there, just a reminder that what we aim to do on this podcast is give a nice, succinct, as you need to know, bite-sized information on new developments in Microsoft 365. So today we're going to be talking about a new Microsoft Teams feature aimed at small businesses to give them the ability to light up chat on their external website, so they can be contacted through their website and link it to their Teams account. So Michael, why don't you kick us off, give us a little overview of this feature and what the licensing looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's targeted at small businesses. So the licensing requirement is all the business licensing. So M365, Business Basic, Business Standard, and Business Premium. So it really is meant for those smaller tenants and not enterprise tenants. And this is really the ability to build a kind of an easy chat bot that you can put on your corporate website that integrates with Teams. So I'll share my screen, and we'll jump right into it. Right now, it's available only in the US, and it's coming worldwide in Q2 of this year. So let me know when we're good to go.
We're good.
So a couple of things that kind of hint that it's for small business is the fact to set this up, you need to use your administrator account in the Teams client to go through the kind of setup process. So we'll go through the setup process, but it's not done through the Teams Admin Center. So you have to license your admin account, access the Teams client, and do the setup. And Hab, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question right away?
You just answered it. I was going to say, do you have to have your administrator licensed, right? Because how else would they access the application?
Yeah, so if we go into the apps within the Teams client and we just search for the admin app, this is that Microsoft Corporation admin for like Microsoft 365. You install it and open it. And what you're going to see is this live chat get opened in the admin app. So live chat won't show if your tenant isn't enabled yet. So again, it's only available in US right now, coming worldwide soon. And you have to have business licenses in your tenant. And the admin using this has to have that business license or you don't see it. You can, and as we go through it, you can set up agents and stuff like that. You can have up to 25 agents. Every agent needs to be on a business license, not an e-license. And it does hook into a channel within a team. And you can have anyone in your tenant, a member of that, to see the tickets and stuff like that. But they can't interact with it unless they're a business licensed user and then they're part of the membership. So go ahead, Hab.
Yeah, so just to confirm that the agent is an actual person, not to get differentiate with the Copilot agents as well, right?
Yeah. We'll get a little bit more complex from that, but yeah, when I'm mentioning an agent for this, it's a person.
Yeah, just want to level
monitoring the chat. Yes,
just want to level set.
So I've already gone through the configuration, so maybe we'll just jump into manage. But again, you go into live chat, you hit manage. So this will be, you can give it a name, you can give it an icon. So I just call it Contoso IT support. It can ask you what is the kind of question you're going to ask it when people start interacting with it. And then you can have your own kind of logo in there. So easy to kind of work through and edit. You edit your team, so you specify who are the people that can get assigned requests. And so as a request comes in, it'll go out to the agents, and then agents can accept it or interact with it. We'll show what that experience looks like. You can set your hours. You get an out of office or kind of closed message if it's outside of business hours. And then you can test it within the Teams client. So it'll actually, you can interact with what the experience is before you put it in your website, just to make sure it's, everything you want, if you need to make any adjustments. If your admin is licensed for Copilot Studio, this is where the agent then gets a little interested. You can actually connect an AI bot to do some responding to this as well. I don't have Copilot Studio in this tenant, so we can't show that, but that's an enhancement you can do to this workload. And then at the end, you can add it to your website. So this will ask you what is the domain that you're going to put it on. and it's like hard coded to that domain, so it can't be like any cross scripting issues or anything like that. And then it just generates some HTML code that you would have to put into the body of your website to run it. And I'll show that in a second. I saw you had your hand, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to skip back to this concept of an admin account. Are we talking about an M365 global admin, or it can just be a team service account, or
Teams admin and interact with us?
Okay. So any M365 account that has Teams admin permissions can be used
to set the live chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Correct. And so you get your code, you can copy it, you throw it into a web page. So I just threw a static website up, and you see down in the corner we have the little chat bubble. When we click that, it'll initiate, and then we have this virtual assistant. So let me kind of try and split screen these two. Second. Windows open. There we go. So if we just go into activity, we'll send a message. Actually, we'll check. So password reset. And I think I have this a little bit off the screen. Let me just move that. So these are canned interactions. So basically he's asking you for your name, what's your problem, what's your email, what's the best way to get a hold of you. You can click kind of the cards on here. You can have typos. I can type in like email and maybe have a typo on the end of it. It'll understand it. Then in parallel, it should be hunting an agent. So you'll see we got the a few things going on. So as an agent, I got alerted. We also have the channel that this is interacting with. So if I go in, you can see it's kind of a strange chat message request, and it has a kind of a ID. I go in there and I can, reassign it to another agent. I can update the status of the ticket. I can view the transcript. So if I hit view transcript, I can see the interactions between the person and the bot. I can now start replying, what's your ID code? And now we'll throw it over to the chat, and we can kind of have that back and forth conversation going live with that live chat. And then in the team, other members can also see what's going on. So they can see the individual requests, they can view the transcript, they can update the status. You can have outside conversations around this item. All going in. So it was pretty quick to set up, like under 10 minutes. I was able to put it in the website and post that and kind of work. If you reset refresh the browser, it'll keep your history. And if you, not respond after a while, say, are you still there? So there's some interactions. You don't have a lot of control at this level. It would be interesting to see the Copilot hook-ins to Copilot Studio and kind of the auto answering of questions and stuff in parallel. But yeah, it's part of the kind of business licensing, and not many people know about it yet. So I wanted to kind of do a session and kind of get people playing with it and coming up with new ideas. It also isn't tied to the other aspects that we have of tying like auto tents and call queues to your website for voice and video. This is completely separate, chat only, can't be escalated to a call. So it'd be nice to see if those two kind of different implementations kind of merge, and then also unlocking for enterprise tenants.
Very cool. Quick question. Let's say is there any security controls? Like if someone wants to start like to spam the website here?
Spam website, like manually interacting and chatting with it, or like?
Yeah, or programmatically controlling it, or I don't know, doing phishing malware. I guess that would be covered with the basic Teams Defender controls, but I guess there's no admin controls around here. Yeah,
that's correct. So you can change the status, so we can put closed. And you can see the chat's all locked and everything like that. So I guess in that sense, you could prevent the person from interacting with it again, but of course they could just start a new chat. Good. Yeah.
Michael, again, you mentioned that this only works on the Business 365 Basic, Standard, and Premium. What if you have an enterprise, like an E3 or E5 organization that wants to take advantage of this? Could they? I don't think you're able to combine those types of licensing in a single tenant.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You can?
So as long as the user that's assigned to this live chat is with the business licensing and the admin setting it up, you can set up with a tenant that has enterprise licensing as well.
Yeah, it's curious that they didn't make this available. Like there would be total use for this for an enterprise. It's
yeah, I think it's maybe gauge interest and stuff. Like you can't create additional ones, so you only get to create one. So I'm wondering if as we see this go to enterprise, there'll be more flexibility. I would hope to see it in the Teams admin center for enterprises as well, so we're not licensing admin accounts to use the productivity tools. But yeah.
Right. Okay.
Curious, Michael, the technology used behind the scenes here, is it leveraging the WebRTC standards, I guess, to make that little widget actually communicate to the Teams backend? Do we know?
We can look at the code. I think it's just some JavaScript that you throw in your site. So it's pretty easy to hook in, but I'm assuming it ties into the bot framework and ACS in some way, but it's completely hidden in the background, so you don't see any of those details. And you have no way to interact with the Azure services. So this would be something that's tied into your tenant, but it's not kind of spun out into its own Azure services.
Got it.
Does your organizational federation settings have any bearing on how this works? Like if it's all locked down, does it block this agent or this chat?
No, it's not coming in through federation. And the like if you look at the members, you're really, I guess I could do another chat so you can see the kind of back and forth with the persons. Let me. We're going all tests. Well, it doesn't do phone number processing, so that's an interesting one. But so we have the request. I'll accept it. So, hello.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It looks like a group chat, but with a.
Yeah. So you're like interacting with the actual live chat, kind of like bots. Yeah. And of course, you have to view the transcript to get the person's name and stuff like that. So it doesn't like auto show you that like, hey, Michael wrote this or something like that. So there is some back and forth. So if you have a lot of these going on, and maybe you may lose who you're interacting with unless you're checking the transcript in parallel.
I would think too that since it's a chat, that it would be susceptible to the retention policies as well too, right? So if you have delete policies, then they would likely get removed as well.
Yeah.
And Michael, you said it's available in the US now. Did they give a date for, you might have actually said it, roll out worldwide?
Yeah, Q2 2025, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the other implementations of like, getting the click to call in a website of like an auto tenant and a call queue and then being able to do voice and video was pretty complex for most organizations to kind of embed into their website. You have to go down the rabbit hole of building the Azure communication services and wire everything up so they could talk to your auto tenants and call queues. For a lot of these bots on websites, it's usually chat initiated first and then escalate to a call versus call and live agent right out of the gate. So it'll be interesting to see if they do something similar or merge them together so that you can start with a chat, jump into a call, voice or video, all with a kind of seamless experience.
Very cool. Well, so I guess net, this is aimed directly at providing customer communication, customer satisfaction without requiring separate software for it if you're already licensed for Teams. So be interesting to see where they take this, if they integrate it more into like call queues or something else.
Yeah, and the hooks into Copilot Studio should be pretty interesting to see how you can start doing auto responses off your website. Maybe it's like, request a quote, what products are you interested in, maybe provide some feedback, and then eventually connect it to a real person.
Well, I think Habib's going to give us a demo of that on the next session.
There you go.
All right. Well, that was great, Michael. We'll keep it short and sweet. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.